Good morning, lovely people. Welcome back to the Italy vlogs. So, what I thought I would do for this video is take you with me through my weekend in Italy. A weekend in Italy. So, I'm going to go through everything that I eat in the weekend, what I do in the weekend, and actually I've got some really interesting things coming up this weekend, so I thought, well, I just will show you. So yeah, I'm starting off with my toast and marmalade. That's becoming my favourite. I was saying yesterday, it tastes a little bit like orange sherbet. I don't know if I've ever said that to you when I described it before. Yeah, so I'm going to have my toast, have my coffee, and then we're off to the town. So I'm just off to the baker's to get some bread, because, you know, got to go there every day. But then we're off to a festa. Now, a festa is... Festa, like a festival, maybe? I don't know. But we're going to the Festa Cavalli, which means horses. So yeah, that is going to be, it happens every year, Festa di Cavallo. And yeah, so I will take you and show you what goes on there, because these are yet another quirk of Italy. So we're now here at the Festa di Cavallo, but the idea of the Festa di Cavallo is that people from around the region actually bring their horses to show them off. So some of them are here for just their looks, some of them performance. Late in the day they do things like dressage, show jumping, but today, well this morning, because this goes on all weekend, they are basically showing their horses around for looks, for form, yeah, so to see who's got the best in show. So a lot of the horses here are not your usual take them out for a bit of a ride on a Sunday afternoon. These are kind of quite wild horses, as you would have seen by some of the antics of the horses in the ring. They're not really your tame, take your children to on a pony club day, if that makes sense. Yeah, they are quite wild. So they're kind of more bred for their form rather than bred for
253 Wendy
good
da Domo
horses,
Claudio.
if that makes sense. For their court, for their, yeah. So yeah, so this is the festa. It happens every year in this region. They come along and there are horses brought from all over the northern part of Italy to perform in this what actually is quite a famous Festa di Cavallo. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that little bit of footage, and I will see you a bit later. Back from the Festa di Cavallo, coming up to lunchtime, so I'm going to make a pasta dish that you've never seen before, so I'm going to show you that. And it's about 30 degrees out at the moment, so it's really hot, but it's just started to cloud over, and I can just start to hear thunder in the background. Now last night, about 11-12 o'clock-ish, we had a thunderstorm, and the thunderstorms here are quite spectacular. Fork lightning, a lot, hammering down with rain, which was really nice because it did cool the air slightly, but we are due to have quite a few thunderstorms over the next 2 days. So if I can catch any of that on camera, I absolutely will, because we've had some brilliant thunderstorms in Italy. They do seem to be on a spectacular scale. Yeah, so got my Pepsi Max because so hot. Yes, so I'm gonna get on with cooking lunch and show you what I'm doing. So I'm hoping you can see me over there. So first of all, I'm actually going to start by just dicing one normal yellow onion. Now this is such a simple sauce, and even though I'm actually making them with salsicce, which is obviously Italian sausages, and the flavour is slightly different, but I would turn around and say, if you are going to give this a go back home, make it with the Heck 97% pork sausages, because actually they are the closest thing I've found. And I did make this the other day back at home with them, and actually, do you know, it was pretty close. So I'm just going to dice this up, fry it off, take some salsicce, break it up into little pieces, fry that off. I normally would put a drop of white wine in it, but I don't have any, so I'm not too worried. You can just use stock and cream. Now, back home, I would probably make it with creme fraiche rather than cream, but getting creme fraiche over here is a bit difficult, so I'm just going to use sort of standard cream and stock, but the creme fraiche gives it a little bit of acidity, which the wine would have done had I had some, but you know what, it's all good, it doesn't really matter. So let's get on with cooking this sauce. So while that is cooking, I'm going to now decide on the pasta. So as you can imagine, being in Italy, variety of pasta is not in shortage. So we've tried quite a few different ones while we've been here, but I think for this one, as I reach up into the cupboard, for this one, I'm going to use this Casa or Casarice. They kind of rolled and then got a little twist in them. So Casarice, I would imagine you could probably get it on Amazon, you get it from somewhere, but like I said, Barilla, #1 pasta in Italy, that's why I use it back home. It is so completely different to supermarket pasta back home. The texture is different, the way it absorbs water is different. It's not, you know, sometimes like supermarket pasta can go a bit sticky. This doesn't, it's not, it's just completely different pasta. And you wouldn't think different pastas make a difference, but they absolutely do. So yes, obviously back home, the Barilla packaging is a dark blue. But they've obviously changed in Italy now to light blue. The light blue ones back home are the ones without gluten, so don't be mistaken if you're looking for them. Dark blue they are back home currently, unless they decide to bring over this new packaging, but they have just changed it for the UK actually, or for Europe, well, UK probably. Yeah, so pasta. So I'm gonna get this on and then I'll show you what it's like when it's actually done. Let me show you the bread we got from the bakers. This is a ciabatta. So over here, the ciabattas look quite a bit different to the ones back in the UK. I mean, as you can see, that is quite big. I mean, they do come in all different sizes. I mean, ciabattas back home are all that kind of uniform, long size, but over here, they're not, they're all quite random shapes. Now, ciabatta actually means slipper in Italian. So, I mean, it's a big slipper, they say, but that's what ciabatta actually means. And actually, I thought the ciabatta was a very kind of long-standing, old kind of bread, but it's not. I think it was created in like the 1980s, something like that. Yeah, ciabatta. And that's what it looks like over here. And it doesn't have the same open kind of texture as it does back home either. Yeah, it's a bit more bread-like rather than the big holy type stuff. So I was thinking actually, as I was making this sauce, I was thinking about how we eat differently in Italy to we do back home. I would turn around and say that generally what we eat in Italy is we eat far more simply here than we do back home. Now back home I would make obviously curries and I'd make teriyaki, I'd make, do you know what I mean? Sort of more complicated recipes, more highly flavoured, more diverse dishes, I guess. But in Italy, we don't eat really, really simply. Generally, pasta at lunchtime because, you know, you haven't eaten much of breakfast, because actually, in Italy, breakfast doesn't actually exist in the same way. I think I mentioned that before when I've talked about how people eat differently. People tend to not have breakfast as such. I mean, it is getting more and more. You're starting to see more things like breakfast cereals appear in the supermarket, which when I first started coming over about 20 years ago, you didn't see any of it. If you wanted breakfast cereal, you would have to bring it with you, without a doubt. It just didn't exist. I mean, sliced bread didn't exist. So if you wanted toast, then you would just use the bread like I do now. That's probably what I decided to start doing it before. What else? Yeah, then in the evening, it would always be some sort of meat with salad and some antipasto, you know, prosciutto, salami, whatever you've kind of got. I mean, we have a variety, you know, we've got some gorgonzola, we've got some prosciutto, we've got some salami. But if you were here and you lived here all the time, you might not. You'd have one of them, you'd have the gorgonzola, then when that's run out, maybe you'd have some salami. But it wouldn't be as prevalent, I suppose. But food is far more simpler. So if you go to the traditional restaurants, like we're going on Sunday, and I will take you with me, the menus are far simpler. It's just simple pasta dishes, nothing complicated, and then it's simple meat dishes. So yeah, so that's really, you know, cooking in Italy at its finest, I guess, because I think the one thing is the produce kind of speaks for itself. The produce here is, as I've mentioned before, the quality is so much better than it is back home. But the prices are higher as well, so that's kind of reflected. So if you went and bought something off a farmer's market back home, you'd think, oh, it's quite expensive, but actually here, it is more expensive anyway, if you know what I mean. I mean, even chicken is something like 15 euros a kilo. But it's like the chicken that I would have had as a kid. It's got more flavour to it, more texture to it. Yeah, so if you buy in, even if you buy in chops, now I will buy the finest ones in Tesco's for under a £5. I mean, you're talking here, probably €6 for 2 chops. So you're talking double the price. So I suppose you would expect the quality to be better anyway. But it doesn't mean then you can eat more simply, because you can just enjoy the flavour of the food itself. Anyway, enough of my ramblings, as I can still hear the thunder in the background. I don't know if you heard it at all. Yeah, so I'm going to carry on cooking this, and I will show you what it's like when it's done.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had afforded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. Ooh, I'm feeling hopeless, screamed out loud, because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me out of the storm. I found home in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold. It's funny how easily a life can be torn apart. Why couldn't I simply see that I was sick at heart and I am in deep debt? The climb we did was unreal. You made me so speechless. I just can't believe it. You broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. Ooh, I was my own enemy, screamed out loud, because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone.
So I'm just going to drain the pasta, and while the pasta's draining, I'm going to finish off the sauce. I'm using half a chicken stock cube in about 1/3 of a pint of water. So I'm going to use the stock to actually deglaze the pan. And then cream. Pane fresca. Sauce is actually still quite liquidy, but that's a good thing. And the pasta is slightly al dente, which means it's got a little bit of cooking left to do. So the best thing to do is to put the sauce then, while it's still quite liquidy, into the pasta, reheat the pasta, and the pasta will then start absorbing the sauce. So the sauce won't just be on the pasta, it'll actually be in the pasta as well. So it will flavour the pasta more deeply. That's the trick, guys. That's the trick. I've kind of cooking it for an extra couple of minutes, and I'm now just going to leave it set, because we're in a hot country, you don't want food too hot, you don't want your pasta cold, but you don't want it boiling hot either. So while that pasta then starts to cool down to a more manageable temperature to eat, it will continue to absorb the sauce. So by the time it's cool enough to eat, the sauce would have been really absorbed into the pasta. So I will show you what it looks like when I'm dishing it out. Let's give this pasta a try. So good. So good, so good. Anyway, I need my lunch and then we'll see you a little bit later. Good evening, guys. So it is 7:30. This is what happens in Italy. Dinner time creeps later and later and later every single day. The only thing I've done this afternoon is have a nap on the sofa, because normally we go to bed in the afternoon for like an hour, because a bit like Spain, and they have their siestas. Pretty much the same in Italy actually. I don't actually know what they call it, or if it's even called anything. But yes, having sleep in the afternoon is a definite thing. Otherwise, you can't stay out in the town until 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, so this evening, again, simple food. Pork chops, salad, again, antipasti bread. It very much is that kind of very simple repetition. Now, there are obviously things like that you're more creative with, like pasta dishes, but normally the meat course is just simple. So I'll show you the size of these pork chops. Look at those, they are bigger than my hand. They are absolutely huge. I am cooking them really simply. I have just put my aromat on, because yes, you get it in Italy as well, and I'm just frying it in a little bit of olive oil. That is it. Simple salad. Because actually, it gets this time of night and yes, you're hungry, but you're not overly hungry because you've had pasta lunchtime. So I think it's almost a bit of a lesson to be learned there, I think. You know, maybe something I adopt when I get back, when I'm thinking about my new plan for losing my last bit of weight. But yeah. So yeah, let's get on with these chops. So guys, this is dinner. Pork chop, salad, tomatoes, bread, again, salami, cheese, all the good stuff. So that's it for today, but I will pick you back up in the morning when I've got something really special planned for you tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Good morning, guys. It is the night after the storm. Oh, what a storm that was. Started around about 9 o'clock-ish. I think it was still raging about 4 o'clock this morning. So I'm feeling a bit tired this morning, a bit croaky. Yes, but today I am skipping breakfast completely. Now, the reason I'm skipping breakfast completely is because I'm going to my favourite restaurant here in the north of Italy. A little restaurant in the mountains called Valceno. It is what I would typically think if you thought of a traditional Italian restaurant. This is it. If you've ever seen any sort of Italianized films like Goodfellas or Sopranos or anything like that, and you look at the restaurants that they go to, this is it. So if you ever saw any of those kind of films about Italians, American Italians, and saw their restaurants, this is the epitome. This is the epitome of that. But what I would say is, it is such good, honest Italian cooking. It is traditional. It is, if you go there and have a lasagna, the lasagna is going to be as good as the lasagna you could make yourself, that you could cook at home, that you would put all that love and goodness into. It is that kind of place. Yeah, it just makes me smile when I think about it, because it is good, honest Italian cooking. It is not your fancy, tiny, little a la carte. It is good old-fashioned Italian cooking, home cooking at its best. It really is. So, like I said, skipping breakfast today because, you know, I'm planning on having 3 courses. If they have a nice dessert, or dolce, as they call it here. But if not, if they don't, then we'll still go back to the town and have gelato instead. So it'll always be a win-win-win. So yes, this morning, we're not doing too much. In fact, we've only got about 2 hours before we have to leave for lunch anyway. So I'm going to do a little bit of editing and chill out a little bit, because that's what Sunday mornings are for. Yes, and then I will take you to Valceno with me, and I will show you the restaurant, I will show you the food, I will show you all that lovely stuff. So if you ever thought you were going to come to Italy, these are the kind of places you need to look for. If it looks fancy pants, then sometimes you're paying a lot of money and not necessarily the quality is there. But I've never been to a place that doesn't look like this, that doesn't sell good food, if that makes sense. So when you go to all these back street restaurants, when you visit any tourist Italian area, if it looks a bit like this, then you know the focus is on the food and not on the decor. And that's a good thing. So I'm off to do my editing, and I will see you in Valceno.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had afforded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. And ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud.
We are now at Valceno, and I have got a timbalini or spaghetti con bolognese, which is bolognese with like a swirl of spaghetti, and my husband has got a tortelli arbette, which is a tortelli filled with spinach ricotta. So I'm going to enjoy my starter, and I'll see you back here for main course. We've now got our secondi, which is our main, and I've got polo chicken con arrosto misto, which is or spiedino arrosto misto, which is a skewer with mixed meats on, and a little bit of potato and a little bit of salad. So I'm going to enjoy this. So guys, that is lunch finished. The only thing I forgot to do, because I'm a drip, completely forgot to film my dessert, but I did manage to take a still from the fridge as I passed, so I will insert a clip of that here. But that's it for today. It's now quite late on a Sunday afternoon, and we are going home because we're going to chill for the rest of the day. Might even do a bit of a facial for myself because I'm not going anywhere, and that is it. So I hope you've enjoyed this weekend vlog, this little weekend in Italy, which is quite typical of our weekends really. Yeah, so that's it guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.